Never a dumb question. Ask away. What it do? It's been a while since I've been on you live. You up now, son? Red. My microphone working? Yeah. Never a dumb question. Ask away. What is that? I'm tired of this race. This rat race. Not life. The one that they tell you to live. It's so frustrating sometimes. Wake up, clock in, repeat. Wake up, clock in, repeat. And true enough, I don't clock in. It's supposed to be more than that. Nigga need to see the other side. So I'm building shit. Different assets and it's slow to build. But boy, I ran it up. So I can make some choices, but certain choices would be foolish, I suppose. Should be asking. So I'm building. Investing, books, YouTube channel, LLC, man. And the goal is to get it all done with the least amount of borrowing one can manage. Because debt is meant to be used as leverage, not just like free money to blow or whatever. Crazy person. Not in the early stages. Supposed to be using it for scale. And right now I got a Make America Great Again. Ooh. Well, let's dissect that, shall we? Why? That's first. Why? Why is that a happy life? Because it's just a slogan. For real, for real. It's a slogan that became people's identity. They allowed it to. But I guess, what does that mean to you, Make America Great Again? Or why do you feel like it's a lie? Do you think America has never been great? Trying. She hiding out in the hallway. It's not even thunderstorming. People in the pool and shit. Ah, Trump. Well, he has and he hasn't. He's exposed a lot of underlying issues that Americans have unintentionally. And notice, the president is never single-handedly responsible for anything that goes on in his country. And and that's all of them, including Orange Man. And I'm not for or against him. I just look at the reality of it. While he is loud, arrogant, and most certainly an asshole, one of the most social media driven presidents that has ever existed in American history, objectively speaking, certain things have improved while he's been in office. Whether is that a direct result of things that he has or has not done, I cannot say. I can get on Google and pull up everything. We all can. We can all go online and find out the facts. But that's just a slogan. It ain't shit no more than a slogan. And he does what all politicians do. Use slogans to get votes, get supporters. Even with the Iran shit. Whether or not we agree with the war, or even if you want to call it war, I don't see it as full scale personally. But even with that, it was gonna be him or somebody else. Guarantee you. That's some shit that's been brewing for decades now. He just so happened to be the person to be like, yeah, go ahead. And he ain't the only one that stirred up trouble in the Middle East. Both left and right have stirred up trouble in the Middle East. Most of our problems are local. Most of the policies and issues and legislations and shit like that that people deal with come from our local government, state level, mostly. The federal government, it's hit or miss. Yeah, I ain't say that he didn't like it's like I've said before and something I noticed. Most of the time, who's ever in the whomever is in the presidential seat for the time being, whether it be one term or two terms, that's 4 to 8 years, they are oftentimes dealing with a decade worth of shit from 2 or 3 presidents ago. It's always like that. It's always like that. And then they get blamed for it because they're the face. Now, there have been executive decisions that have been made by POTUSes before that make a motherfucker head spin. And I definitely agree with that. And he can stand to stay off Twitter and shit. But I personally just don't allow myself to be told that he's just this evil man that people have made him out to be. I just don't see it. It could be a lot worse. And what would it take for America to be considered great again? Lower prices, higher wages, a squeeze on corporate greed. Is it always corporate greed? Or us as adults, are we in like, I see it as one of the, it's a couple of things. Multiple things can be true at once. Yes, wages have stagnated across a lot of areas, but there's a catch to that. It's mostly areas that are not skilled or trades or specializations. It's just a fact. You know, the a lot of people say minimum wage. First of all, cost of living varies in state to state. Then everybody has to collectively agree on what a livable wage actually is for other people to not make promises they can't keep. agree with that. I get tired of getting lied to too. But what? Let's look at the other. Let's look at the other side. What if they completely intend to keep those promises and something else blocks them? We have our government is made up of contingent bureaucracies, an insane amount of institutions in alphabetical letters. Things have to be signed, voted on. It's people that have been in Congress, Senate, and certain heads of departments for years. Presidents come and go, these people stay. Right? So I oftentimes think about what what if, and I'm not speaking up for anybody. I just like to think it all the way through. What if that individual 100% intended to make do on whatever promise that they said, but they could not because somebody who held a certain seat of power said no? We never think about that. And politicians lie. I'm not saying they don't. This is that's the game, right? But I believe that not all of them have ill intent. I think some of them actually do have good intentions. If some did not have good intentions, we wouldn't be where we are today. And because so much bad shit occurs, or that's what we get shown, yeah, yeah. Try being in their shoes. Some people be scared. It's powerful men and women, that run this. That's just I just try to see it from all angles. But don't make no mistake, things could be a lot better. I think we are in. I think we over. I think we overconsume. I think we overconsume a lot, especially media, a ridiculous amount. We ain't supposed to be fed this much information 24/7, especially the bad shit. That's number one. Uh, the monetary system needs restructuring badly. Our economy is old. Our our setup is old. It needs to be changed. But God, it's so much. We gotta think about what it looks like, second, third order effects, and yeah. So I just try to study the shit like that. I don't even be why. Why I'ma sit there and be mad about uh, these politicians? Why? They gonna do what they gonna do until someone within proximity to us, close to us, gains the power and influence to make those type of changes, or a collective unit can actually agree for the type of change that they want. Man, I ignore all that noise. I look at the shit that's pertinent to our lives and how we gonna make it and get up out the rat race. Shit, he ain't gonna be in office forever. Then it's gonna be another idiot. Then the cycle repeats. Folks gonna love him or hate him or her, whoever it is. I just don't blow nothing up. Don't don't push the button. Don't let none of that nonsense come over here and mess up our little bubble. Because Americans, we in a bubble. We can get on the internet and scream and shout about whoever we dislike. Yes, leave the kids alone. But we can get on the internet and scream and shout about whoever we dislike. Motherfuckers got millions of piercings. Wrong with that, by the way. You can be whatever over here. Just don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Keep the economy steady. Let us grow. Fix some of the problems that you can, and just please, for the love of God, don't blow nothing up. That's all I be asking. Can you imagine some of the stuff people go through right now? Ukraine and Russia been at war for a minute. Just, I think sometimes we take for granted how good we really got over here. And it's more boring than people think. We are in the high risk, high reward circle around these parts. That's what America is to me. Free market, competition type shit. And I honestly, call me whatever, I couldn't see myself living. Visit, me personally, left or right, they all income. So you ask me, they all boom. I don't know what they be talking about behind closed doors. I don't know who be shaking hands with who. You see recordings. He's an asshole. He didn't necessarily. He didn't run his campaign to be the most likable president, unfortunately. Ooh, I hope you two don't think that's not what you think it is, you two. I promise. Ashes. That's what you know. Anyway, give me another one. I like that. See, that was good. Got to exercise the muscle. He might go down in history as the most talked about president. Well, outside of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Excuse me. You know what? Let's see. Okay. So, if we are talking, fuck yeah. Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Cause is unfit parenting and mental instability the same thing? Is that a correlation? Like, do you have to be mentally unstable to be a bad parent? Or are we talking about purely genetic brain disease type? Yeah, I know. I know. But the first thing a person say, uh, you can't, it infringes on their right to have children. Oh yeah, yeah. That'll be a hard policy. That'll be something hard to implement though. But that's almost like population control. Humans know like it. It's a form of population control. Cause what if they having a bad day and they come off as unhinged and get told that they can't have kids for the next 10 years? Okay, now multiply that by 1,000 people. Ah, so just walk in and say, I want to get tested. I want to test my mental fitness for so I can see if I can have kids. That's a hell of a question. I mean, a request. Imagine a doctor. I see what you're shooting for. It could be. It's a slippery slope though, because most people don't think they have a problem with it. So first, you got to get a bunch of grown folks to be honest with themselves and think that they even have a need to be checked. It is smart, but yeah, it's not the idea that's not that's bad or anything like that. It's putting it in motion. Then that's when you run into problems. You guaranteed, especially a mama, no disrespect to mama like that. But okay, so is this voluntary or involuntary or mandatory? And that's again population control. You trying to control a population of people on whether or not they can have children based on their mental state or mental stability. If it's voluntary, that's a different story. But if you say you must, okay, incentivized by money, okay, where the money come from? Now you manipulate outcome. And then how you gonna stop these people from having sex? Chastity belts all around, mass castration, sterilization. Like, let's follow it to the end. You know me, you can't get homeless Bingo. So again, how you gonna get a bunch of adults to volunteer, walk into a facility, and say, "I want to check my mental stability before I go have this one night stand and possibly have a baby." The idea itself is smart. It's the other shit around it that becomes a problem. Humans are fickle. Welcome to the show, dear. You know how I do. Now, inside speak, yeah, but in reality, it'll be hard to get that across to a bunch of grown folks. Yeah, 100%. But again, and that's not to say some adults can do it on their own, reasonably or whatnot. But impossible. ATT said. No, they don't. My bad. I was reading emails. Whew, Lord. No, they don't. And I don't even personally. It'd be hard not to say that or call people names. I think a lot of adults these days are misinformed terribly. People gotta understand something. And I done looked into this shit thoroughly. I'm talking about I'm blue in the face. Your brain is so wired to respond to fear, you don't even notice that shit. Most people are acting out of identity and fear. And losing that identity is so incredibly terrifying to the brain, they don't do it. That's why you hear people defend some of the most idiotic and ignorant things you've ever heard in your life. That's why things have become so absurd. Identity overrides any type of logic, and people prove it every single day. You can tell them that the sky is blue. Look at it, it's blue. If identity says sky is orange, they will die believing the sky is orange. And it is innately a fear-based response. We ain't that. We ain't that. Our brains are still on old hardware, and I know that shit's like cliche, but it's true. Maybe they wrong. This ain't come from me. This came from people who way more smarter than I am and do this shit for a living. And I get it. It's ridiculous. It gets to a point. And yeah, hold on. As far as your brain concerned, especially when you get to talk about the amygdala, it's still 10,000 BC. It don't really know the difference. You just got all the new stuff on top of it. We are seriously not supposed to know what the shit is going on in Japan. Not like that. Super major crisis, yeah. Not even go that far. I'm in Alabama. I really shouldn't, except for the wildfires. I get that, but like a armed robbery in Sacramento, that has absolutely nothing to do. Like, I'm sympathetic to it. I'm human, but nobody needs that amount of negativity on a daily basis. The local news is bad enough. You start to scale that shit, your brain don't know the difference. Doesn't know the proximity. You know the difference. It's you and your brain. I said this before, but your brain is also you. But there's you, which is the conscious part. And they call, when you think about your own thinking, metacognition. Yeah. And don't get it twisted. Many great things have been come from people being concerned with the rest of the world. I'm just saying, it ain't for everybody. So most of um, what we see adults doing these days and going through is just acting out of identity and fear. And a lot of misinformation. It's the age of misinformation. Truly, it is. We've always known that the media will kind of twist stories to make the news pop. Now that shit's everywhere. You got regular people, and people listen to you and take the things that they say as holy writ. That's when it started to get ugly. When the people lose trust and faith in the institutions that are supposed to lead them, and then they look to the people closest to them that are just like them to give them truth or information or leadership. And sometimes those people that they look to are just attention-driven individuals who are misleading. And it's just, yeah, it's all over. You can't bar them for walking by. They can walk by. You was over all types of crazy these days. But what's even more of a mind fuck is it's actually good right now. It's not the best, but on some real shit, objectively speaking, it's you can argue till you blue in the face. This ain't no opinion. We're a lot better off than we were 20 years ago. Believe it or not. It's just that the systems that are in place are old and they haven't caught up to our own growth yet. We are victims of our own growth. And the system was designed to be slow on purpose, almost a way to protect us from ourselves. Humanity is drawn to entropy, meaning eventually, somewhere amongst us there will be chaos. So the goal is try to keep order long enough and strong enough that when chaos does occur, order can come back in a timely manner. That's what governments are usually meant to be for, except for the authoritarian motherfuckers and the dictators and the fascists and shit like that. That's what it's usually meant to be for, to protect us from ourselves, because somebody is going to be drawn to chaos. It's inevitable. That's just the human condition. And then, like I said in one of these posts, I meant that shit. I wasn't even joking. I'm dead ass. The more the more you ask the same people who you get pissed at to do something about shit other than infrastructure, order, and security, and law, justice and shit like that, you give them more power. Until it just builds up and builds up, and you get another 1776. That's normally how it goes. Now the chances of that happening these days are very low. People are fat like no disrespect to what I do. It's just reality. About very few people are willing to go out here and risk life and limb for their beliefs anymore. A lot of people be putting on the show. This shit run deep. This shit run so it's so much. It's older than any of us that's alive today. The system's so old. I've resolved to just adjust. Learn the game and play it better. That's what I think. People say this, man. All right, party people. That's my time. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be here again most likely tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Wednesday.